In the spring, the focus is on fresh, lighter fare representing the new growth of the season. Hello, my name is Nancy Urbanik, Associate Extension Assistant for the University of Nebraska-Lincoln, Douglas-Sarpy County Extension. Today, I'm going to highlight a few of the early garden produce that you may be harvesting. Asparagus is a member of the lily family, whose green spears are delicate and thin or thick and stubby. Unless asparagus is very thin-stalked, it should be peeled. This will help it cook more evenly and makes the entire stalk as tender and as delightful to eat as the tip. Asparagus is easy to prepare and quick to cook. It is most often steamed, but it is also wonderful roasted or grilled. Just don't overcook it. Store fresh asparagus upright in water for 2 to 3 days. Rinse well before serving. Asparagus can be served hot, at room temperature, or cold. Add leftovers to eggs or salads. Serve it raw in salads or on a vegetable tray, or try it in a frittata or a risotto dish. When adding to cooked dishes, do so at the end of the cooking time as to not overcook it. Season cooked asparagus with balsamic vinegar, lemon butter, hollandaise sauce, morel, or truffle mayonnaise. Lettuce varieties abound. Most head lettuces and loose-leaf lettuces are relatively mild in flavor and vary in appearance, color, and texture. Other leafy greens used for salads include romaine, arugula, curly endive, chicory, and watercress. These are a more intense flavor. Refrigerate crisper varieties for up to 7 days, wrapped in a slightly damp paper towel in a plastic bag. Before eating, separate leaves from the head and swish in water until no grit is present. Toss raw lettuce or greens with vinaigrette, your favorite dressing, and chopped vegetables or fruit, toasted nuts, and/or dried fruits. Lettuce can be braised or thrown into soups. Don't be afraid to lightly cook your lettuces, though when they are young, tender, and fresh, the best way to eat them is raw. Wilted leafy greens can be accomplished by taking 1 tablespoon of butter and heating it in a skillet, stirring in 2 pounds of greens a handful at a time to the skillet, waiting a minute or 2 between additions. With the pan uncovered, stir until greens are soft and tender. This can take anywhere from 8 to 15 minutes. Countless varieties of mushrooms grow worldwide. Mushrooms should be dry and firm, never slimy. When storing mushrooms, blot excess moisture with paper towels. Place mushrooms in a paper bag, never plastic, and refrigerate several days. When ready to eat, use a damp paper towel to remove any dirt. Wash only especially dirty mushrooms since they absorb water and will become soft quickly. While cultivated white mushrooms are not in the same league as their wild cousins, they can still be delicious, especially if you try a little trick. The trick is to cook the cultivated varieties long enough to evaporate the water to concentrate the flavor. You can also marinate raw mushrooms in oil and vinegar for several hours and serve them as a cold salad or side dish. Great cooking methods for mushrooms are sautéing, stir-frying, roasting, or grilling, or adding to soups, baked, or used raw or marinated in salads. When cooking mushrooms, you can flavor them by using any fresh herb, especially chives, tarragon, thyme, garlic, and parsley. Finish off the cooking with a splash of lemon juice or vinegar. Instead of cooking in oil, use pancetta or bacon fat for flavor. Fresh shell peas arrive in spring and should be firm, moderately plumped, unshriveled, and full of medium-sized peas. Snow or snap peas should be crisp, green, and unshriveled. Use immediately or refrigerate wrapped loosely for up to 4 days. Peas are so delicately flavored that they lend themselves to all sorts of variations. Peas can be boiled in water for 2 to 4 minutes, steamed for 4 to 5 minutes, or microwaved for 5 minutes. They can also be cooked with pearl onions and thin shreds of lettuce. You can also add finely chopped or shredded herbs such as tarragon, chives, mint, or parsley to hot peas at the last minute. Other last-minute flavorings can be dried wild mushrooms, tiny slices of prosciutto, minced garlic, and anchovies. Quick braising in butter and stir-frying peas can also make for quick cooking. Radishes come in an array of colors, bright pink to crimson red, purple, and white. The big, hot, and spicy red radishes, often called globe radishes, are what we are most familiar with, but French or breakfast radishes are milder tasting and smaller. We often eat them raw, but they are also quite delicious cooked. Trim and peel if you like, slice and chop as desired. Sautéing in butter and braising or glazing can be used when cooking radishes. Only cook until it is crisp tender. Try radishes as an hors d'oeuvre. Take toasted lightly sliced briquettes, lightly buttered, and arrange thin sliced radishes on top. Sprinkle with salt and freshly ground black pepper. Or try marinated radishes, radishes in cream sauce, or with bulgur and salads is another great way to serve them. Another quick recipe is to slice your radishes with some garlic, place in a foil pouch with butter, an ice cube, some seasoning, and grill for about 20 minutes. Radishes unfortunately lose their crunch, so it is best to eat them as soon as possible. You can try to store them packed loosely in plastic bag poked with holes in the refrigerator for a couple of days. Rhubarb looks like red celery, but beyond that and the strings that run its length, the two have very little in common. Usually used as a fruit in sweet preparations, rhubarb alone is very tart. Take advantage of its tartness or cook it with sugar or other sweet fruits. Although it is not necessary, rhubarb is best if you string it. Rhubarb is typically stewed or added to recipes for baked goods such as cakes, desserts, and pastries. Rhubarb can also be used in jams, as pickles, conserves, soups, and salads. Make a quick strawberry rhubarb sauce by combining 1 pound rhubarb, 3/4 cup sugar, 1/4 cup of water, and microwaving 7 to 10 minutes. Stir in 1 pint of fresh strawberries, microwave 2 to 3 minutes. Cover, let stand for 3 minutes. Serve warm over ice cream or cake. Refrigerate rhubarb in a plastic bag for up to 1 week. Before using, wash it well. For longer term storage, rhubarb can be frozen. Spinach is a leafy green. Curly spinach requires cooking. Flat leaf spinach is sweeter and more tender, so it can be used for cooking or salads. Baby spinach is very tender and is ideal for salads. Spinach can be refrigerated for up to 3 days, wrapped in a slightly damp paper towel in a plastic bag. Before using, wash thoroughly in several changes of water. Dry thoroughly. If stems are tough, remove them. Cut or tear leaves as desired. Spinach can be steamed for 5 minutes or microwaved in a covered dish for 5 minutes. Spinach is so flavorful that it doesn't need much. Some flavorings include fresh squeezed lemon or lime juice, soy sauce, grated Parmesan or feta cheese, balsamic vinegar, flavored butters, or any vinaigrette. Use raw young spinach in salads. Add chopped spinach to soups during the final minutes of cooking. Or saute with garlic and blend with cream cheese and seasonings to make a dip. Or why not try an Asian-style spinach salad? Strawberries are one of the first fruits to ripen in the spring and belong to the rose family. The flavor of a strawberry is influenced by the weather, the variety, and the stage of ripeness when harvested. A truly ripe strawberry is heavenly. Strawberries are delicate and require gentle handling to prevent bruising. When you are ready to use your strawberries, wash and dry. Pull or cut off the leaves and use a paring knife to dig out the core. Strawberries can be frozen. Strawberries can be used in coffee cakes, pies, muffins, strawberry ice, salads, jams and jellies, and ice cream. How about chopping up a pint of strawberries, a green onion, and combining with a tablespoon of orange juice, a teaspoon of orange peel and Dijon mustard, and 2 tablespoons of red wine vinegar, serving this over chicken or fish. Or, my favorite, strawberries dipped in chocolate. There are about as many ways to prepare your early spring produce as there are different fruits and vegetables available. Let your imagination run wild and don't be afraid to experiment to find your favorite flavors.